Hey guys, today I have 9 more decks that you can absolutely make Wild Legend with in 2020. First off, all of the deck lists can be found in my Discord, which you can find a link to in the description, and if you are interested in seeing me record live, I am live on Twitch every single night at 11 o'clock PST. And of course, make sure to like and subscribe for the YouTube algorithm if you like the content. So the first deck that we have is actually the #1 Chinese Wild Legend deck, and that is going to be Galakrond Warrior. This is the version that I'm currently playing. I'm just trying out some new cards, notably Bran and Barista, but overall this deck is extremely good at going face. I would say just as good as Pirate Warrior, and it also has some crazy late game with Galakrond the Unbreakable and Deathwing Mad Aspect. Our #2 deck is going to be Frobro's Galakrond Shaman. So Galakrond decks are pretty strong in Wild right now. They're probably going to get a nerf soon, which is unfortunate because I would say even though they're fair, they're really interesting for the meta right now. If you guys want to play just another Galakrond deck that's good before they get nerfed, then this deck is a great choice. It's pretty much most of the cards that are run in Standard, with I think just Devolve and Maelstrom Portal being the wild cards here. Overall, it's strong, and I think that Frobro has made triple Wild Legend with it. Now, our third deck is going to be another Galakrond deck. It's actually Corbett's Zoo Galakrond. So it runs eggs, it runs pirates, and it runs Galakrond at the top end. Now, our invoke cards with Veiled Worshipper, very strong. Overall, it just puts tokens on boards, draws cards, and goes face. It does seem to have a bit of a learning curve. However, Corbett managed to reach #4 Legend and actually finish the season top 5 Legend. Our #4 deck is going to be Zeddy's Quest Mage. Now you guys have actually seen me put some videos of this on stream. I did manage to take the deck to rank 2, so it is absolutely Legend viable. However, my win rate with this was a little bit lower than some other decks in the meta, so if you want to win, I would not recommend this, though it can make Legend. Notable inclusions here would be Coalite Oracle for the extra draw, and Research Project, which were not always featured in some newer Quest Mage lists. However, this does give you overdraw potential, so this deck preys on combo decks extremely well. At #5, I thought we were going to have a difficult time finding another Hunter list, but I actually managed to find this Hunter list by Reno Jackson. So this is just regular Beast Hunter. It's one of the cheapest decks I've ever seen in Wild to make Legend, and it made Legend in January in the first couple days. So it's a strong deck. The only expensive cards it runs are Master's Call and Deathstalker Rexar, and generally it's a pretty simple plan. Just play our beasts, go face, build up bigger beasts, and then sometimes hit our opponent with charge or kill command, something like that. Overall, cheap deck, pretty strong, probably does well against a lot of the meta, and it made Legend. At #6, we have Ruisura's Reno Priest. So I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to find a Priest deck either, but this Reno Priest list is pretty strong, caps out at Dragon Queen Alexstrasza, and generally does most of the same things that we've seen of Reno Priest in the past. Did make Legend last month, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend it in the meta, but if you're a big fan of Raza and Shadow Reaper Anduin and you just want to relive the glory days, then you can absolutely play this deck. Coming in at #7, we have Get Meowth's Kingsbane Rogue. Now, this deck is just basically aggro Rogue with a couple small changes to make Kingsbane more viable. Of course, we run the classic package of all of our weapon upgrades plus Kingsbane, Cavern Shiny Finder to draw the weapon, but what we include now is we run Falderay Strider plus Stowaway. So Stowaway draws 2 cards that didn't start in your deck, which if you play Falderay first is our 4-mana 4/4 spell guy, and because of the text on those spell cards, it actually draws you 2 additional cards in addition to summoning 2 4/4s when you play Stowaway. So the Falderay into Stowaway combo is pretty good, and of course we run the classic Sap, Myra's Unstable Element, lots of charge guys along with Ship's Cannon to always find clever ways to finish off our opponent. Meowth reached top 15 Legend with this deck, and though it's not the best rogue deck out there, is absolutely good enough to reach Wild Legend. At #8, we have another old friend coming back into the meta, and that is going to be Jade Druid. So it's been a while since Jade Druid was relevant, but one thing it does really well is it stalls these hyper aggro decks, such as Mech Paladin, that are very common in the meta right now. Naturalize is great single target removal, and Poison Seeds is a great removal for pretty much any board, followed up with Spreading Plague, and that closes out the game against pretty much every aggro deck ever. Of course, you can gain a bunch of armor, you can go infinite with Jade Idols. The only thing this deck struggles with is combo decks. Now, we have very little interactivity with combos outside of Naturalize to Overdraw, and so usually you're going to find yourself in a difficult position against combo decks, but if you're seeing lots of aggro and just aggro, you can consider playing Jade Druid. And last but not least, unfortunately guys, I could not find another Paladin deck that was not Odd Paladin, Mech Paladin, or my Reno Paladin, so I brought you another very interesting Warlock deck, and that is going to be Gul'Daniel's Malygos Warlock. Now, he reached Legend just the other night with this deck, and it's still very early in the season, so this deck absolutely has some potential, and it's just a lot of fun to play. So, the combo is, you play Malygos, it's been discounted with Emperor Thaurissan, and then you just send a bunch of spells to the face. Classic Malygos game plan, but it gets to run all of the best Warlock cards, those being Defile, Dark Skies, and of course, Void Caller into Void Lord. So it's a good Warlock shell with an interesting combo finisher, and therefore you guys might have some fun with it, and you can definitely reach Legend with it. So, those are all the decks I have for you guys today. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, then go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to come back, you can subscribe to the channel. And if you think I've missed any decks in my total of 27 decks that can reach you Wild Legend in 2020, feel free to leave a comment down below. Thanks, guys.